Good evening, everybody, and this is the return of Dr. Adi back to Instagram after having my baby girl. I hope you're doing well today, and I hope you will tell us where you're joining us from. I hope your Sunday is going well. I decided to, get back on my Instagram live. It's been a minute, and it's been maybe 8 weeks. No, it's been about 12 weeks that I haven't been on here. I thought I would come back. A lot of people have asked me, "Hey, doctor, when are you returning back? We miss you." So this is my face. I hope you're doing well. How is your day going? Where are you joining us from? My name is Dr. Adi, and to our new community members who just joined our page in the last maybe 4 weeks, 2 weeks, a week. Welcome, 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 welcome. And I hope you find this place, this page, or this community. I hope you would find it supportive, and I hope this community will help you in one way or the other as you either try to relocate abroad, try to optimize your career, try to transition into tech, or try to get advancement in your career, get promoted. I hope you find the right information on this page. In addition to that, I'm a new mom, so you would oftentimes hear about me, as I try to navigate my role as a mother to a beautiful baby girl and also as a wife. You would hear me talk about that on this page. So I decided to come on to answer a few questions. There have been, tons of inbox, tons of DM, people asking various things from, project management to different tech related questions to those people who are saying, Dr. Adi, it's about time to start to apply. We want to go abroad for our study for 2023. So what's the strategy? If you're one of those people who are planning to apply to graduate program for 2023, you're on the right page. We'll be sharing tons of information such as the one we put out this morning, which is pretty much a list of different schools who are not collecting application fees, who are waiving them for students. You'll be stumbling on so many different good things on this page. So I'm here. If you have any question for me relating to your career, relating to transition into tech, relating to moving abroad, relating to applying for graduate school, really moving abroad through graduate school program, please drop those questions in the question box, and I will be looking out for those questions and answering them accordingly. So one of the many questions that people ask me a lot in the DM is this: Dr. Adi, can I get admission? And when I get to my destination, I will work and pay my tuition and also be able to feed myself and have a little money to keep from the work. They're wondering whether if they don't have any money, they will just get the admission. That's all they need, and then they will relocate abroad, and the money they make from working will be good enough for them to be able to pay their tuition, to be able to also pay maybe for their rent and upkeep. The flat answer is no. You won't be able to relocate abroad and pay yourself through school except if the school is tuition free. If the school is not charging school fees, there are a couple of schools in Europe. I went to a tuition-free school in Finland where I wasn't paying tuition. So, but if you are relocating to the US, where per year the tuition could be about $25,000, $30,000, or you're relocating to Canada, that the tuition fees could range from $8,000 to also $20,000, and then you have to pay rent, which is approximately $1,000 a month. And if you have kids, maybe let's say you have two kids, a boy and a girl, that means you'll probably get a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom apartment. If you're getting a 2-bedroom apartment, that's about $1,500, and you are not going to be able to do 20-hour work to pay all of that. So when you move abroad, you are only allowed, when you're going to school, to work for 20 hours in Canada and in the US, 20 hours, and also I believe the UK. If you're working for 20 hours, the money you make, because this is not a full-time job, when you have a part-time job, it is really oftentimes not a job that you earn a whole lot of money because it's not full-time. As a result, the pay you're gonna get is a little low. So I'm saying this, if you're just joining, welcome. This is a question. If I want to relocate abroad, and when I get abroad, I want to go by school. I want to get admission, move abroad, and when I get there, I will get a job. And from the money I make from that job, I'll be able to pay my tuition and also upkeep myself. And I'm saying the answer is no, and that's what I'm explaining. All right, again, where you're only allowed to work 20 hours a week. From the 20 hours a week, you may be making $15 per hour or $20 per hour or something thereabout. That is only, in most cases, enough for you to pay your rent and maybe a little upkeep. So if you're thinking of moving abroad, you have to save up that tuition fees, save up school fees. In Nigerian terms, school fees. Okay, you have to save that up or get a loan to be able to pay your tuition. And then maybe when you get abroad, the money you make from the 20 hours work may be enough, depending on the city, may be enough for you to be able to pay your rent, pay for your rent, and pay for your upkeep, feeding, and also transportation. That's very critical, because we just want to make sure that people are not having their hopes dashed, or people are not raising their hope thinking, once I get the admission, everything will be good. There are other things you can do. If you get the admission and you're thinking, how do I go? What do I do? You can think about scholarships, right? You can think about getting external scholarships. There are external scholarships like MasterCard scholarship. There is PTDF. There are so many different scholarships out there that you can apply to after you have applied and gotten the admission. For most schools, if you're looking for internal scholarships, those internal scholarships usually will come with the admission. And if you're not lucky, let's say you didn't get the internal scholarship, you can get graduate assistantship position or teaching assistantship position. You can look out for those teaching assistantship position within the school where you can be able to make some money, and that money may be, maybe for your upkeep as well. So I'm saying this to you, that if you are thinking of relocating abroad, think about getting that scholarship, or you can think about loans, right? There are different places, Empower and so on, that offers loan to people who are trying to go abroad. If you've gotten the admission, please think about getting a loan so that you can pay your tuition. And yeah, when you get here, or when you get to wherever you're going, whatever you make can be enough for you to at least, take care of yourself there in terms of feeding and accommodation and transportation. I hope that clarified that question for those people who are wondering. Yeah, get a loan. So if you are on that boat, you don't have that money, get a loan. Look at teaching assistantship opportunities. Look at external scholarship opportunities from different organizations that are being offered as a substitute. And then once you get that, the little money you would make when you get abroad, which is 20 hours work money, every week, should be enough for you to pretty much take care of yourself when you're there, aside from paying your tuition. Tuition is very critical, so that is why you should always look out for scholarships. So if you're on this call, I've had people also ask me, another question very common in our DM is HND. I have HND, and I'm wondering, can I also still get a scholarship with my HND? Absolutely, yes. You can get scholarship with your HND. You can get a master's admission with your HND. There are some countries that are favorable to that. The United States of America allows you to use your HND to apply for master's degree, and you stand a chance to still get a scholarship. There are countries that have a little bias against HND. Countries like Canada, countries like the UK, they have some bias against HND, but I won't tell you that it's not possible. So if you are on here, you're looking for scholarship and admission, and you have a solid grade, and you have an HND, I think you should prioritize applying to the US, because you stand a chance in that country. So I hope that answered the question for those people who have been asking questions about HND. There are two questions in the question box here. I studied energy engineering, but I want to switch to project management. Thinking of going to Canada, but I really am confused on what sector to go into. Please, can you share more light on this? Energy engineering is not a bad career in the first place. And energy engineering is not a bad career. Have you worked in that sector? Have you worked at all after you finish your school? Because when you're thinking about relocating abroad, what I usually assess on my program, I assess your education and your work experience. And I look for connection between those two areas and wherever you want to transition into. Yeah, if you've done energy engineering, what else have you done after you graduated college? What did you work as? Did you work in a bank? As what? Some of those things may have some good connections to other areas that you may want to transition into. Please keep in mind that energy and engineering is not a bad thing. It's not a bad career. When we look at energy these days, we're having evolution, we're having battery technology, we're having wind technology, we're having different things that are being used in terms of when we think about energy. So energy doesn't just have to mean petroleum. There are other sources of energy that we are using to power different things nowadays. So you may be sitting on gold mine. You may not actually need to migrate. If you're interested, you can come on maybe have 1 hour chat with me. I can assess your credentials, and maybe you can already utilize what you have. This is really why I mentor people, right? So one of the very good strengths of my mentorship program is that I will look at what you have. So everybody wants to, there is this fear of missing out. Everybody wants to transition to tech, run to tech. Sometimes where you are is a very good place. You are sitting on gold mine. You can succeed there, and then you don't actually have to transition to tech. So when you come on my program, I will assess your portfolio and may be able to tell you in some cases that where you are is actually a good career path, that you don't need to move to tech. And then we will look at where you are, expand your horizon there, look at all the possibilities, and then come up with something tangible where you are. You are only going to be allowed to move to tech if we consider that where you are, we don't have any prospect there, things look really bad, or you feel like, there's no future, maybe that industry is declining, then we can say, let's migrate away. So she's an example of those people that when they come on my program, I'll look at an energy engineering portfolio and look at, because of the fact that energy is a very big topic right here in the US, for example, energy is big because recently Joe Biden just passed a law that favors people who are driving electric cars, right? So you have to look at energy from the perspective of electric, from wind, battery, different types of energy that we are having there, right? So we're looking at even hydrogenics, generating hydrogen from water and using hydrogen to power different things. That is still a source of energy that is, one of those sustainable energy method that is out there. So how can somebody be in energy engineering and wanting to run away to tech? You're stealing your money, right? So if you want, come talk to me. Let's figure out which part will be best for you. The lady with energy engineering, I don't think you should be going anywhere. I think you are in a good place. All right, Dr. Adi, any advice for medical doctors in Canada who want to transition to other careers in tech? Thank you for such a enlightening platform. I may not be able to talk too much because I don't know what you're passionate about. I have helped a couple of people, medical doctors who are veterinary doctors, who are medical doctors, who have relocated to Canada and the US. I have helped them transition to other career paths very, very well. So we look at a couple of factors. We look at what they're passionate about. We look at how much they want to make. We look at whether they want to completely leave the healthcare industry or still have some attachment to it. We look at many things, then we come up with career paths that will be lucrative for them, and we pursue that. So far, I have helped people. I've helped 6 people, 4 of them were medical doctors, so 2 of them are veterinary doctors. I've helped them transition from their legacy career to other career paths based on some of the criteria that we put together. So I think, there are rooms for you in other places. Maybe we may not be able to get you $400,000 like a medical doctor salary, but we can get you started in a very decent salary, and there will be opportunity to build on where you're getting started from. So, but I think there is opportunity for you to cross over to another career. Thank you. Another Dr. Ari, I'm in the UK now studying for my MSc in big data and in big data analytics. For my PhD, I'll be finishing. I studied chemical engineering, but no work experience in that. But I want to move to the US. So, okay, you are in the UK, you're studying business analytics. You want to move to the US for your PhD after your MSc. So she wrote it in a couple of sentences there. Okay, yeah, there's opportunity for you to move to the US. You just have to start to plan now. So you are already in the UK. You're thinking about moving to the US maybe next for your PhD next year, September. I think you should start to plan now already. You should start to look at, okay, what is my plan? What am I going to study in the US? Why the US? What school am I going to apply to? Because if next September is what you're looking at, Most schools are going to open their admission portal from September to maybe February, March next year, depending on the school. So if you're targeting resuming in a US school next September, you have to start to look now. You have to start to look and say, okay, when is the portal opening for school A and B? And what school has free and what school require GRE? If they require GRE, what are their GRE score? Do I have to write GRE or not to increase my chance of getting that PhD? I think this is the time that you start to look, because you may need some work, right? You may need to write GRE, you may need to do other things. So please go out there, look at the schools, and hopefully you can already put something together and make a good plan to be able to move to the US next year. Absolutely, you can move to the US. Hello, Dr. Adi. Any advice? Okay. Please, how can I make the best out of my master's degree in toxicology? My location is Germany. My degree in toxicology. Well, I wouldn't tell you that I don't know. There are so many things you can do. This is not a situation that I will be talking to you about here. I think you should be booking a session with me. One thing that Nigerians are not good at, we are not good at having conversations that will take us to the next level. We are good at paying for certifications, paying for skill acquisition that we don't need. This type of person, you are in Germany, you're studying toxicology, you're on this page. You shouldn't be on this page and not already book something with me so that we can think about, first of all, how do we get you out of Germany? How do we get you out of Germany? Number two, if you're doing toxicology, what are the career options that you have, right? And you sit there and you are looking and say, okay, maybe Dr. Adi is going to share all the information you need for free. I can't collect your resume on here, right? This is the situation where you sit down with me, we look at your resume, we look at what are the job prospects for you in Germany, which I believe is not a lot. And how much are you going to make? And are you going to get papers in Germany? How long does that take? You know, we have to think about all of that. Do you have a spouse? Is your spouse with you? Or do you want to raise your kids in Germany? And I can't have that kind of conversation with you on here. That kind of a person, you should be sitting down with a career coach to get clarity on multiple things. Do I want to live in Germany? Secondly, if I want to get a job with my toxicology degree in Germany, what type of jobs are available for me? Number three is, will I get papers in Germany? You know, there are so many things that you have to consider in this case, as I'm talking about this toxicology students in Germany, and you need to be making those decisions when you're in school. You have to make those decisions so that as you're in school, you're planning, if you want to stay there, you're planning, how do I put my best foot forward for a job, for my papers, what are my strategies? And if you have to move out of Germany, you're also planning right now while you're in school so that you can understand what are the criteria needed by the countries that I want to go to, the schools that I want to go to, so that you can start to put them together. You need to get with a career coach immediately. Thank you. Okay, I started. So if you are just joining, welcome. And I am slowly coming back to talk to you guys. One of the things that I want to share with you today, you know, yearly we have 3 boot camps every year, right? We have our boot camp in the beginning of the year, which is the Vision Board Boot Camp. And middle of the year, we would have a career focused boot camp. So we are hosting a career focused boot camp next month, September. We're hosting this boot camp, and we have 4 areas I will be focusing on. One of the major areas that you guys have asked me a lot is, Shay, this program that you are doing in Canada, don't they do something like that in the US? You are asking about the pathway to relocate to the US through green card. I will be bringing an expert who actually does this for people to come and talk to you as to how do I migrate to the US in a similar fashion that I could migrate to Canada with permanent residency. I'm going to bring someone to come talk to us about that. I'm also going to bring an RCIC to come and talk about different pathways to relocate to Canada that are not commonly talked about. There are over 200 methods or pathways to relocate to Canada. We all know a couple of pathways, but there are other pathways that a lot of people don't know. And for that reason, we don't use those pathways. We only focus on the common pathways. So I'm bringing an immigration consultant for Canada to come talk to us about those hidden pathways so that you can know all of these other things. And you know, the US pathways to get your permanent residence is one of the easiest pathways that ever existed. With the US pathway, you don't need IELTS. You don't need proof of funds. IELTS and proof of funds are two things that are standing in the way of Nigerians today that are stopping a lot of people from migrating to the US. And this pathway to migrate to the US does not require those. Why are people not using that pathway? They don't know. So in that boot camp, we're gonna bring people to talk about those two. We're gonna be doing a whole, you know, full-fledged career competitiveness program. We're gonna do resume overhaul where I will break down to you, you know, what, you know, some of you go and pay $500 to people to edit your resume. You will get the full details. How do you put your resume together to get the job you desire? You will understand how do employers actually gauge your resume. How do they gauge you? What are the processes? You will get that full picture. And we will talk about LinkedIn optimization. How do you optimize your LinkedIn so that you're getting recruiters, you know, headhunt you. My current role, I didn't apply for it. I was headhunted on LinkedIn. The previous one, the same thing, headhunted. And as you know, I've worked with over 1,000 people getting jobs every time, sharing testimony, getting job, double the salary, we 3x the salary, we increased the salary by 30%. We did this and that. That can be you. And I know you don't want to pay $500 because you don't have $500. The boot camp is going to be $150. You're going to get everything. You're going to get everything, and then you're going to get other things. Other things you're going to get career advancement. So there are some people who actually, they already are working. They're just stuck in their careers because they don't know how to navigate the workplace to be promoted. We will also be giving them all the tea. How did Dr. Hadi become a director in 4 years? Or after graduating from college, and all of the methods that my mentors, my 5 mentors have taught me, and all of the different things that I've worked with people with that have helped them, you know, go from early level entrant to becoming VPs. We are spilling all the teas, all right, in that boot camp. So we are going to advertise that boot camp later today. The boot camp is going to cost $150. If you like, go and get certification that you don't need for $400. Go to the nonsense place where the career coach, you don't see anything about their life. All they post on their page is their career coaching. You don't, in their workplace, nobody knows them. Do you have a clue as to what they do in their lives? You know, I go on the pages of some other people who are constantly wanting to sell people things. They don't give you anything for free. If they want to talk to you right now, like the way I'm talking to you, they will invite you to a webinar and charge you $10 for that webinar. That they should be doing in free Instagram live for you to tap into their brain. No, they don't save their IG live because they don't want you to have any inclination of anything free. You all know I will give you free stuff, but the one that I won't give you for free, you know, the free stuff is already solid. So the one that is not free, just so you know, is times 10 solid. So if I tell you, give me your $150 for that boot camp, you'll know it's solid raised to power 10. I'm telling you. So we're going to advertise that boot camp today. Go and save up your $150. Come to that boot camp next month. Before you go and pay for that Scrum Master, that project management, before you go and pay for all of those different things you pay for, first of all, let us come and, you know, understand what you need to be doing with your career. Once we understand that and narrow down to a pathway, then you can go ahead and pay for whatever is right that you should pay for. But first, let's just come and sit down together and get it together. All right, so I'm going to go and look at more questions that people have dropped here. If you have questions, if new people that are coming in, you're welcome. Please, if you have questions, drop it in the question box, please. I will go through it and I will be answering those questions. Dr. Adi, I'm a U.S. citizen, studied education in the U.S. and got a postgraduate diploma from UK in head management. Moved to Nigeria 11 years ago and had a successful business in health sector providing professional development training. Okay. I want to move back to the US and I want to pivot into project management. How do I do this? You have owned your business. I'm trying to understand. Have you owned your business in that 11-year period in Nigeria, or have you worked for someone? If you've owned your business, I don't think you should transition into project management. I think there are other things that you can do because you've owned your business. You can do that doesn't require you owning a US business. There are different career paths that are possible for you aside project management. Project management is not bad, but I think you can do other things as well that I think would be very good for you based on what I'm reading here. Like I always say, I love to be able to, chime in, give you what you need and everybody go. But sometimes I need more information. Sometimes you just need to sit with me. I look at your portfolio, you talk to me more, then we will find a strategy for you. I don't want to just tap my finger and tell you something without having a full picture when I understand that you are uprooting your life to move to a country that you left 11 years ago. So we need to make sure we are making concrete decision that is data driven. So this type of person, you will book a session with me. You should come to the bootcamp, but I need to be able to sit with you, ask questions to be able to put something good together for you. All right, I'm still trying to read other questions. For the new people coming, we have 88 people at this point. Welcome. I hope your day is going well. And I am slowly returning back to Instagram. I took a break for about 2 months to go have a baby. And the last 6 weeks I've been doing mommy duty, and I have a new boss in my house. I only sleep when my boss sleeps, and when she eats is when I can pretty much sneak in some food. All right, so I have a new boss, so you haven't seen me because of that. But these days, she's growing slowly, so she's slowly sleeping well at night, small. So, and I'm feeling like maybe I can take on, ambitious tasks like coming back to Instagram, like, trying to run a boot camp, because we usually run that boot camp in July, first week of July, but because of, I had a baby in July, we had to move it to September. So, yeah. When we post about that boot camp, you get all the tea. Come to the boot camp, guys. I really hope that that boot camp can do it, especially for, we have a whole admission process breakdown for those people going back to school in September as part of the boot camp. So if you are looking for admission, you're looking for scholarships, you want to talk to a professor, you're wondering, how do I put my best foot forward? We're going to come with the full tea. My team comprised of, for the admission one, my team comprised of people who have won 7 scholarships, 10 scholarships, who are going to some of the best schools in the UK, in Canada, and then the US. They are the ones leading this bootcamp. In fact, they tell me to take several seats. They're the ones putting together the content. If you attended our bootcamp in December, you will know some of the content they share were really fire. These are people that I trust because I supported them to get the scholarships, and I've seen them become leaders in their own rights. And I'm happy to let them lead a boot camp. And while I support, I'll also be there sharing some of the tips, but I trust what they'll do. But while I will focus on the career side, getting you that advancement, getting to the bag. We need to get to the bag. It doesn't matter where you are, whether you're in Australia, in Nigeria, in the UK, in the US, in Canada. These strategies just work. It just works. And it has worked for me. It has worked for over 1,000 people. We continue to share testimonials, and I know it's going to work for you. Now, let's go back to questions. Okay, I studied history and international studies. And since I graduated in 2019, I have been working as a customer care, a receptionist, and now a secretary. I want to go for my master's and I am not sure of what I want to venture into. I am looking for stable career to start with and grow. Okay, you want to go for your master's. There are so many things you can do. On the history side, I think there is a whole lot that you can do. International studies is a little dicey, but I usually will focus more on history. For example, I'm Canadian, and Canadian universities have so many different funding for studying of the Aboriginal people and First Nation and Métis. So you may be able to get funding to actually research on this history in Canada. So I would tell you that there are so many history scholarships out there. If you look, you want to look at those history professors and directly approach them. Some of these scholarships will not be posted on the university website, but if you have conversations with those professors, they may be able to take you on. But I believe most universities are loaded with history scholarships. In the US, some of the very, very interesting research that you can focus on when you write a professor would include, really wanting to research more on the, Black people, the history, the slavery history, and how we are evolving, how people are evolving out of slavery. There is history that has affected some things that cause people to do what they do. That's a very, very good research that I think could have funding, and a lot of historical Black colleges have funding assigned to such topics. So if you study history, you're looking for scholarships, you shouldn't find it too hard to get scholarship. I think you will be able to get scholarship. Go ahead and do that. Another area that has good scholarship is linguistics. So I've worked with a couple of people who have gotten scholarships in linguistics. So I'm saying that because oftentimes people will write to us and say, Dr. Ali, you're not posting non-STEM scholarships. You should find non-STEM scholarships. Oftentimes the non-STEM scholarships are not advertised, but the professors have money. So go ahead, write to those professors, go ahead and contact those schools. And I am sure for your non-STEM scholarships, there are some programs that are good. Now, you may ask me, when I finish with linguistic, what am I supposed to do? Oh my God. If only you know that there is a pathway in linguistic to tech. There is a pathway leading you right through from linguistic to tech. And I have worked with 2 people who we have been able to find a pathway for them from linguistic and connecting their linguistic PhD to tech. So I'm saying this because even if you are sitting down there and say, oh, if I study something, maybe I won't get a job when I'm done. It depends, right? It depends on what you are studying, and it depends on whether there's a connection to something else. These are the reasons why career coaches are very important. There are some things you cannot uncover yourselves, but through for example, my experience of having worked with so many people, then I can tell you, oh, I have these clients. A few days ago, or last week Sunday precisely, I posted that one of my mentees who work for a big pharma company, Pfizer, wants to help us to take on interns. And she wants to give somebody a 6-month cohort opportunity in our group. This is somebody who had gone through this program and is successful now, can help other people. I'm saying that because when you're thinking about what you're doing and thinking maybe you are the only person that is going through that, I just want to let you know that somebody might have passed through my program who has gone through that, and we have found solutions to their problem. So when you come on the program, you may not be the first person. We may have a case study that we can adopt for you so that you can move fast. In fact, I may be connecting you to that person for you to actually still have a meeting with, talk to that person and really be able to figure things out in an easier manner for you. They said that I stand on the shoulder of giants so that I can see further. I personally stand on the shoulder of multiple giants, and this is why I see further. And I hope that when you think about mentorship, you think about it in such a way that you can stand on the shoulder of somebody else who has been through that, who has worked with somebody who has been through that, so that it will be easy for you when you're going through your own situation, and you may move faster than the other people eventually. All right. I hope that answered the question for the history person. Okay. All right, this is all the questions that I have that people have dropped on here for us. If you have questions, I think it would probably have to wait till another time, because I have answered all the questions here, and I've also answered some of the questions that weren't asked as well. Can a lawyer with over 13 years in the banking industry in Nigeria do finance technology? It depends on where you're going. It depends on the country, and you are a lawyer in banking industry. Number two, it depends on what you have been doing in the banking industry. What have you been doing there? Because that will determine whether we can find a connection with finance. What do you mean by finance technology? What is that? The link to the mentorship program can be found in the bio. If you click on the bio, you will see a link tree, and then you can see the link there. I am reading through the comments dropped here. That's what I'm doing. I'm ready for my mentorship. Oh, congratulations to you too. She just had a baby. Oh, may the Lord bless your baby. Congrats. Hi, Dr. ID. How can I move? How can I move with my spouse to the U.S.? And please, would he be able to work full time while I'm schooling? For if you're moving to the U.S. with your spouse by school, your spouse cannot work in the U.S. while you go to school. The visa that your spouse is going to get does not allow your spouse to work. Yeah, it's that simple. All right, I'm just reading through the comments here to see if anybody has questions. If one is relocating with spouse, can the tuition fees be covered? If you're relocating with spouse, what do you mean, can the tuition fees be covered? I don't understand the question. I studied mechanical engineering with vast experience in sales in FMCG industry. However, I want to transition to tech. Well, then book a session with me so that we can study, we can look at some of the opportunities that you will have in tech, because this also depends on the country you're migrating to. What is lucrative in country A may not be as lucrative in country B for you. So we have to know what country you're migrating to be able to help make the best decision in that. Is there a job opportunity for people who study political science back home in Nigeria and intends to do a master's in international relations in Canada? I will tell you this. International relations in Canada, I don't think that's what you should be studying, because you're coming into Canada. Are you trying to be a diplomat for Canada? Why would you come to this country to do international relations? Nigerians, what is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? Don't come here to do international relations. Come here to do what you can use in Canada. When you do international relations, you're telling them, I want to go and work for United Nations as an ambassador or a diplomat and stuff like that. Position yourself in such a way that you can be useful in the country you are migrating to now. Please find another course and choose. That person that puts international relations in Canada there, please, that feedback is for you. Thank you. Well, anyway, I hope this has helped one way or the other to answer some of the questions that this group, some people have written to me. And if you have further questions, please don't stop asking, as as I have time, I will come on here and answer some of your questions. I hope to also see you at the Career Bootcamp so that we can, it's called Career Revival Bootcamp, so that we can help demystify some of the things that are on your mind and really help position you for, a very good next 4 months before the end of the year. It is always my pleasure to come on here and talk to you. Thank you all for staying consistent. Thank you all for continuing to, be a part of the community, for engaging the community. Thank you. And I look forward to really working with some of you that, looks like has to be worked with. And I look forward to continually chat with you guys, engage you guys with very good content. Please keep sharing the content and keep supporting the community. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.